Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Was Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam a sinner? No. Why then the disdainful enemies defame him as a sinner for his innocent tawbah? For no reason. Only misconceptions about sin and tawbah have led them to think so. Such misconceptions are many, but we shall discuss only 3 in this video. Number 1. Misconception about sin and tawbah. The non-Muslims do not know that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did tawbah. That means he asked forgiveness of Allah every now and then, not for any sin he ever committed, but for any probable unknown mistake he might have done unconsciously. He was always afraid of any kind of mistake which might have been done by him beyond his knowledge, beyond his consciousness. Every prophet of the past did the same thing. Even the angels always ask Allah's forgiveness for their unknown mistakes, if there be any, beyond their own knowledge. This kind of submission to Allah is unknown to the non-Muslims. They cannot even think of such purity of Muslim hearts. They rather consider the way of asking forgiveness is a kind of confession about real sins. Their depraved power of thinking cannot make out anything better of tawbah offered by a sinless prophet. Number 2. Misconception about man's life and duties in this world. The non-Muslims do not know that Allah has created man and jinn for only his ibadah. Every Muslim knows it confidently because it has been declared in the Quran. Chapter 51, verse number 56. Ibadah comprises worship plus tawbah plus all kinds of halal activities to survive, to perform familial and social duties, and to multiply for the continuity of Allah's ibadah. Very simple. Tawbah is a component part of ibadah. No need for sin against it. It is natural that a man must be careful of his time and actions. His every moment and action of life must be sacrificed for Allah, for ibadah. And he must perform tawbah all his life, as it is a part of ibadah. If any thought and action of a man go beyond this format of ibadah, that may be considered a sin, if Allah does not forgive to overlook the matter. In this sense, every man is a probable sinner, and he must do tawbah for his known and unknown sins. This conception of sin is foreign to the non-Muslims, and that is why they consider Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a sinner, while he is found willfully and continuously doing tawbah. They fail to see his cleanliness and purity of both body and soul. Number 3. Misconception about the sin relating to ungratefulness. It is mandatory for every man and jinn to express and offer gratefulness to Allah for the innumerable provisions, bestowments and blessings of Him on them. It is sin not to offer such gratitude to Allah. In the day of the final judgment, every man and jinn will be brought to account for what he or she had enjoyed in this earthly life, and whether he or she had properly offered ibadah in proper manner with befitting gratefulness. Quran, Surah number 102, verse number 8. The Muslims know that it is quite impossible for any man or jinn to offer his gratitudes to Allah for his generosities with exact propriety. That is why they ask for Allah's forgiveness night and day, only to fill up the gaps in their duties, I mean ibadah. Such tawbah is not for any committed sin. Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did the same thing by offering tawbah more than 70 times a day. He did his duty towards Allah, and we try our heart and soul to follow him. No sin is required for tawbah as its cause or background. The haters like David Wood and J. Smith simply misunderstand this way of tawbah and consider Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a sinner. We can only feel pity for these misguided children of Adam.